I think I'm going to be leaving the Democrat Party because this happens this happens too often where they're blaming the opposite party when they know they can do what the right thing. They need to do the right thing and reopen this government instead of keeping it shut down like they're hijacking the American people. I've seen it before. We've seen them vote the right way when they're in power. So why the hell can't they vote the right way when they're not in power? So get this government back open, get the American people what they deserve. And this is basically a Schumer shutdown from what I've seen, from what I've been watching on C-SPAN, what they show and what they show the Democrats whining and crying and blaming. That's what I see. I think
Yeah, it's all falling apart for the Democrat Party right now. Absolutely falling apart, and I am loving watching this on a daily basis. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful watching the fallout, right? Especially when you have the a segment of their party that is trying to take over their party completely, the Zoran Mamdanis. And honestly, at this point, and I may drop a YouTube short on this, so if you don't watch my YouTube shorts, definitely check them out, okay? Because you're missing out on some good stuff. I typically drop 3 a day, 3 every single day. For a while, I've been slacking a little bit. I've only been dropping 2. I've been slacking, but I'm going to step it back up to 3 a day. So make sure you're checking those out. But, honestly, kind of at this point, I want to see them touch the stove. I know. I want to see the Democrats of New York City touch the stove. We've told them it's hot already. We've warned them. Hey, the stove is hot. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. I'm telling you, you're not going to like it if you touch it. Hey, Zoran Mamdani, he's going to destroy your city. It's not going to be good. I'm trying to tell you, this is not what you want. It sounds nice and fluffy and cool. That blue flame looks kind of cool, doesn't it? I know, but don't touch it. It's going to burn you. If you want to elect Zoran Mamdani to be your mayor, go right on ahead. As a matter of fact, I kind of want you to. Because one of 2 things is going to happen. One, he's going to enact every single thing that he promised, and it's going to destroy the city. The money is going to sprint out of the city. A lot of it already has, right? The city is going to be an utter hellhole. Or 2, he's not going to, because he's going to realize it's going to absolutely destroy the city. And so he's not going to do virtually anything that he promised. And the people that voted for him are going to be pissed off at him because he didn't. Those are the only 2 outcomes. Only 2 outcomes. And so at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Go ahead and touch the stove, bro. Touch it. Touch it. When you get burned, I'm going to sit there and say, I told you. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I got a couple of clips that I want to show you guys today. And this first one is... Actually, I meant to throw this first one in a video from, I don't know, a few days ago. Maybe last week. I don't know. My days blend together at this point. I don't know. I meant to put this clip in a previous video and forgot to. So you're going to get it now, which, it's still a great clip. So check it out.
Well, that was Jasmine Crockett. I guess she's supposed to be someone for you to look up to, at least according to the left. In this home, no, that's not. But what did you think about our black Congress Representative Jasmine Crockett? How was that?
I think her voice changed in 2 seconds from the first video to the next one. She sounded like ghetto.
Yeah. Hey, I got a quick question. How is it possible, and I didn't prep her for that, by the way, but how is it possible that my 10-year-old daughter can hear Jasmine Crockett for the first time, listen to 2 clips, and the first thing she said to me was, Dad, her voice changed. Why did her voice change from one clip to the next? Because she's putting on a show, my dear. So she wants to get invited to the cookout. So unfortunately, in the black community, you got to walk around and act like you don't have a lot of intelligence. You got to act like stuff isn't happening. You gotta be ghetto and loud and like say F Donald Trump, and like then you get invited to the cookout. But I guess that's why we don't get invited to many more cookouts.
Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you raise a child right there. Absolutely beautiful. But she's correct. This isn't the Jasmine Crockett that we know of today. The whole, and this is the thing, the entire Democrat Party is simply a show. It is a show. The same way Jasmine Crockett used to speak proper, didn't have all the ghetto-ness and the cursing and all of that, which, if I remember correctly, the cursing and everything started last year. Early last year, if I remember correctly, is when it all started. Maybe I should make a video on that. I got a new video idea. Yeah, I need to make a video on that. You know, the Jasmine Crockett before and then how it switched and about what time it switched. And if I remember correctly, it was early last year. It was when the whole Democrat Party wanted to start doing the cursing thing, right? You guys remember that? Maybe it wasn't early last year. It was like middle of last year, summertime ish. I don't remember. I'll figure it out. But anyway. You guys remember they all started cursing, thinking that it was a great thing to start cursing. And it's like, bro, you sound weird. Like one of the Democrat congresswomen was like, yeah, we're going to F Trump. And it was like, yeah, I can tell you don't curse in your daily life. Like, don't ever do that again. You're going to go fuck Trump. That's what you're going to do? You're going to go sleep with the man? You're going to get in bed with him? Like, what you just said didn't even make sense. Like, at least make it make sense. My goodness. Like, this is just cheesy. This is weak. It's pathetic. It's lame. And their excuse is always, well, you know, Trump has a bad mouth. Trump this, Trump that. Trump is the same person through and through. He's always been the same person through and through. He's never changed. He's never changed. He didn't all of a sudden just start cursing out of the blue. Like, he's always throwing in some curse words sometimes periodically there. He's always not been completely politically correct when it came to answering questions. That's always been him. That's not, excuse me, that's not you. So now you all of a sudden want to change it? Now, Jasmine Crockett, you want to start acting ghetto and doing all this extra stuff? Like, it's silly, man. It is absolutely silly. But I am so happy that even the youth amongst us can point it out and realize that it is nothing but a show from the Democrat Party, especially when you consider the Democrat Party actually used to agree with a lot of the things that are going on now. And I actually made a video on that earlier this week, if I remember correctly. So definitely go and check that out if you haven't. All right. Absolutely a show. But anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes, which is this video here. Check it out.
Why I am no longer on the left, even as a lesbian. And yes, I'm going to read what I wrote down because it's quite a list. It has been maybe half a decade, maybe even more, that I've decided to leave the left, and this is why. What I have observed is that the community pretends to fight for inclusivity, diversity, and freedom. But I've seen with my very own eyes for years now that realistically they fight for one-way thinking, the demonization of specific groups that are other than them, and the cancelization of freedom of speech. They say they care about human life and people who are victims of war, but advocate for the killing of the most vulnerable type of human life form in existence. They fight against the legalization of guns, but cheer when guns are used to assassinate a man who simply had a different opinion. They cancel free speech under the label of hate speech, when often enough, it's not hate speech, it's just speech they hate. Not to mention the complete lack of self-awareness to go from saying somebody is speaking hate speech and follow up with saying some of the most disgusting and degrading things to humans I have ever heard. Don't even get me started on the GoFundMe that was made for the murderer of that innocent girl. There have been too many examples of narcissism, manipulative abuse, gaslighting, closed-minded and anti-growth promotions within the community that I'm very proud to say that as the first letter of the LGBT, being gay does not automatically mean that I have to share the same sickening, in my opinion, views as the left. Why would my sexuality, gender, race, or anything for that matter have to do with where I land politically? And quite honestly, I hear more LGBT members complaining about being misgendered than any other actual hate crime happening in the world. If being misgendered is your main point of how you're being oppressed in this country, I would consider you to be very privileged, because there are actual, real issues that need healing in the world more than your gender pronouns. My mind, body, and soul knows where love is, and I do not feel that in the community. Yes, there are positive and negative on both sides, but overall, I have been my most mentally healthy, happy, and filled with self-love person since I decided to think more for myself and not allow others to dictate what I should and shouldn't believe in order to fit their agenda. It is getting painfully obvious now that no one is going to be fucking with that energy anymore, and you guys are about to lose a large percentage of your community. I'm already seeing it everywhere online. Hopefully this is a wake-up call. You all need to look inwards. There's no shame in realizing maybe there are some things inside of me that need to be looked at and healed in order to be the best version of myself, and also therefore better for the people that are around me.
You know, the crazy thing about this is that they'll never wake up and realize that they're destroying their own party. They'll never wake up and realize it, because if they were, they would have already done it. They would have already done it. Their party is absolutely crumbling. There was a report that came out that showed that Democrats over like a 4-year period had lost over 2 million registered voters. All while Republicans gained over 2.5 million registered voters. So you're losing over 2 million registered voters while Republicans are gaining over 2.5 million registered voters. So we gained even more than you lost, and we're going in opposite directions. You would have thought that would have been the wake-up call. You would have thought in the 2024 election, when all of the mainstream media was saying, oh my goodness, Kamala's got this in the bag. Look at the Iowa poll. You guys remember the Iowa poll that came out like 2 days before the election? Oh my goodness, Trump's gonna lose. Kamala's got this in the bag. The racist comedian has absolutely destroyed Trump's chances at the Nazi rally, blah, blah, blah. And she lost. She spent a record amount of money. Over $2 billion was spent on Kamala Harris's campaign, and she lost. Not only did she lose, she lost every single swing state. She didn't win a single swing state, and she lost the popular vote, which a Republican hasn't done in 2 decades. That wasn't the wake-up call for you? Neither one of those was the wake-up call. The wake-up call wasn't when your own party cheered after a man lost his life in front of his family? That wasn't the wake-up call for you? What about when everybody on social media, a lot of Democrats, I should say, on social media came out and said, I cannot continue to support a party that cheers when a man loses his life in front of his kids. I'm switching parties. That wasn't the wake-up call for you? See, and this is my point. There will never be a wake-up call for these folks until their party is completely cooked. I mean, I just gave you like 4 different scenarios off the top of my head. Just right off the top. That should have been a clear wake-up. All right, guys, we're going in the wrong direction. We've gone too far. I understand our intentions are good, blah, blah, blah. You know the whole 90, although I don't believe their intentions are good. But anyway, I'm trying to speak from someone's perspective on the other side. Guys, we need to change course. We just lost an election. We're losing registered voters at an alarming rate. We got to switch something up. No, not a single person. And, I haven't even dove into, the fact that just about every single county across this entire country, swung further to the right. There was maybe like 2 counties across this entire country that actually voted more Democrat in this past election than they did in 2020. Like a handful of counties. You can count them on your hand. Swung further left in this past election, which means just about every single county voted more Republican in this past election than they did previously. That should have been the wake-up call for you. Holy crap. Everybody is swinging to the right? What is happening? Why is everybody abandoning us? That should have been the wake-up call for you. Would have been a wake-up call for me. Listen, trust me when I tell you, if there were ever a scenario where I was watching people leave the Republican Party in massive numbers, oh, I'm getting on here and I'm setting the 5-alarm fire. You can hate me all you want to, but I'm going to tell you the truth. We're going to have to change something around this mother lover. We ain't going out like this. Because facts are facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. You can feel how you want to, but the fact still remains. But that's not a wake-up call for them. So I genuinely don't believe there will ever be a wake-up call for these folks. These folks will take that hatred, that brainwashed mindset to the grave with them. That's just what I believe. And no, I'm not wishing death on anybody. I don't want anybody to mince my words. Oh my goodness, there's one thing that's guaranteed to us all, and that is death. I'm not wishing a speedy death or anything like that. I hope everybody lives a long, healthy life, right? But I genuinely believe that these folks will take that mindset to the grave with them. Just saying. I'm just saying. I've seen too many moments where I'm like, yo, that should have been a wake-up call. That should have been a wake-up call. That should have been a wake-up call. That should have been a 5-alarm fire, because if I see something like that, whoa, what is going on? Like, I'm yelling and screaming at the camera. And none of it's happened. None of it. Not a single bit. So, hey, we'll just continue to pad the stats here on the Republican side. And continue to gain more and more registered voters to the point where we may not lose another election for a very, very long time. 30 years, maybe. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but the numbers and the direction is ripe for that to happen. It sounds wild. But I've shown you guys all the video clips. I've shown you guys all the statistics, all of the numbers. It is ripe for that very scenario to happen. Just saying. Y'all get in the comments and let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Do you agree? Do you disagree? When do you think is going to be the next time that the Democrat Party wins a major election, a presidential election? Let me know. Stay safe. Peace.